period when you're down by 2? You know, in my last video where I talked about the whole Sabres COVID situation, I specifically said that I am a very calm person. I don't get angry very often. I'm very mellow, very laid back. But I gotta tell you guys, like, I just watched the Sabres play the Islanders, their first game back in 2 weeks after being off because of the whole Devils COVID thing. So the Sabres lose this one to the New York Islanders 3-1. And, like, I'm just so mad. Like, I'm really angry. And it's at everybody. It's at the Sabres, it's at the NHL, it's at this whole situation. This whole situation is ridiculous. And, like, I know I make jokes about being a Sabres fan all the time. I write silly songs about being a Sabres fan all the time. But, like, nights like this is why I hate it. Like, I hate it. And I'm really trying my best not to overreact because the Sabres still had a ton of players out because of COVID. And so I'm trying not to get mad at the Sabres specifically, and I'm more so, I think, very mad at still the way the NHL handled the Sabres and Devils situation. But 0 shots on goal in the third period when you're down by 2? I have never, ever seen anything like that. That's not true. I've seen a ton of bad Sabres games where it seems like they didn't really get any shots on goal an entire period. But, like, they actually got no shots on goal in the third period down by 2. And it really didn't start off all that bad. And I thought they actually did a pretty good job, all things considered, coming off of the 2-week break with some guys coming back who have been off this whole time. I thought they did well with puck possession. You know, they looked sloppy, but I thought they did okay. But they still managed to go down 2-0 in by the time the first period was over. But anyways, I'll take you to that, my reaction. Enjoy. Alright, it's been a couple weeks, but the Sabres are finally back playing hockey again. Sitting at the Lucky Fireplace tonight. Normally, I do not like to sit at the Lucky Fireplace for Sabres games. It's usually only a Bills game thing, but the Sabres are pretty short-handed tonight with all the guys still on the COVID list, so they're going to need all the help they can get. But you know what? Doug Allen sang the national anthem tonight, so Jeff Skinner's on the first line finally with Jack Eichel, so I'm feeling pretty good, guys. There's so many guys in the lineup that I've heard of, but I know nothing about, like Davidson, Fogarty. Like, I don't even know what these guys look like. And they're playing on the Sabres. So many new numbers. Thanks, New Jersey. Go Skinner. Over to Jack, come on! Yes! Oh! I thought Olofsson tucked it in too. What happened? How did he miss it? It was a wide open net. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, why is it that it's impossible for us to score goals? Wow, I gotta see that. How did that not? I thought for sure that went in. Oh, jeez, Varlamov. What a save. Look at this. Great play. Oh, it went off his glove and then went off the post. He had the whole net, side of the net to shoot at. Victor Olofsson, come on. Oh, my God. Why is scoring goals such a challenge for us every year? Oh, nice play. Yeah, they scored. Knew that was going to happen. You know, this is what drives me insane. Like, it's not like we were playing poorly. Like, we've been out-possessing them all period. There's 3:23 left. Crappy attempt at a clear. And then no one wanted to get back, and they just let Lee walk right in like that. Damn it. That was a nice tip by Lee, but like, Victor Olofsson basically should have had a tap and it should have been 1-0, and now all of a sudden we're losing after, like, a pretty decent first period. Life with the Buffalo Sabres. I can't get too mad, though, because, like, what are we going to do? We have, like, 4 AHL defensemen playing. This has some serious 2006 Sabres Hurricanes Eastern Conference Finals vibes. Oh my God, they scored again. Are you kidding me? What the hell happened there? That was dumb. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, that was a really weak goal to give up. Dahlin kind of like let him skate right by him, and then he just kind of fired at the net that shouldn't have gone in. 2-0. Unbelievable, man. All right, that's the end of the first period. That was a frustrating period of hockey. I thought we played pretty decently to start the period, and then, you know, let in 2 kind of bad goals at the end, and suddenly we're down 2-0. Like, so yeah, again, I wasn't really upset at all about the way the Sabres played. It just seems like and this is nothing new. This has obviously been a problem with the Sabres for years and years and years, but like they just cannot score. Like scoring for them is such a challenge, is such a struggle, and they can't score. But they make it so easy for other teams to score. Like the first goal the Islanders scored, I didn't really notice it when it happened, but upon further review, there should have been an interference penalty called. Sam Reinhart got totally knocked out along the boards when he did not have the puck, and you know, Lee was able to just go in. Samson Reinhart was completely taken out of the play, and you know, that kind of sucked the way that happened. Either way, though, the second Islanders goal that was scored, like, too easy. Like Peugeot kind of just, like, walked right in. It looked like he had a bit of a step on Dahlin, and maybe Dahlin misplayed it a little bit, but he still kept him to the outside, and Peugeot kind of threw it on net. And at that point, you just need your goaltender to make a save, and Ullmark kind of let in one that I'm sure he'd like to have back. I'm sure a lot of Sabres goalies would like to have a lot of pucks back over the years. And it sucked, too, because not long before that, the Eichel, Skinner, and Olofsson line had a nice little tic-tac-toe kind of look to it. Eichel fed Olofsson, who had half the net to shoot at, and somehow Varlamov got his glove on it, and then it ended up hitting the post, and, you know, no goal, because that kind of stuff happens to the Sabres. So a very frustrating way for the period to end. Like, although the Sabres did do a good job with possession, they still, you know, the Islanders did a great job of taking away a lot of time and space. So while the Sabres possessed the puck pretty well, they really didn't have any kind of quality chance other than, you know, the Victor Olofsson miss. But that's just the way it goes. So then we get into the second period, and, you know, all you need is one goal to really get back into it, and that's what the Sabres did. But basically, once they scored that first goal, they took their foot completely off the pedal. So I'll take you to that. All right, second period. Let's try this again. Penalty. Skinner got tripped. Look at Jeff Skinner on that top line making things happen. He had quite a series of bad luck at the end of that first period, so maybe we can use this turnaround a little bit. Oh, shoot! Overcheck! Scores! Yes, there you go, Victor. Nice. Victor Olofsson on the power play. Seen that a time or two. Needed that so badly. It's a nice play by Dahlin to get him there. I thought he was going to go to the other side to Jack, but he went back to Olofsson, and Olofsson buries those more times than not. All right, there we go. Oh, geez, what are you doing? Oh, my God. They just basically gave it to the Islanders for free in the slot. That was gross. You think after scoring that power play goal, they would have started feeling it a little bit more and maybe the momentum would have turned in our favor, but, like, the Islanders have kind of been all over it afterwards. Oh, we just took a stupid penalty. Davidson, oh, my God. This is why this whole COVID situation just pisses me off, man. Like, he should be nowhere other than Rochester. Oh, God. Look at this. Saw that coming. You knew that was coming the second he got the puck at the point. But I don't know how that guy on the Islanders got the puck at the point like that, and nobody was anywhere near him. He threw it to the net, and then Nelson tipped it in. Like, you see, that's just infuriating. Like, that whole thing starts because one of our AHLers in the lineup takes a stupid penalty, and then stupid on the penalty kill. 3-1 going into the third. That was not the period we needed, but it is what it is. So nice play by Skinner to draw a tripping penalty that led to the Sabres' first power play. They moved the puck around really well. I don't think the Islanders cleared it out once that whole power play. Dahlin fed Olofsson, who buried it. He hit the post earlier in the power play, didn't mess up this time. But then as the game goes on, I think you kind of started to notice, you know, that the Sabres have been off for 2 weeks, right? And that they had, like, quite a few AHL players in their lineup that normally would never have been, which kind of takes me back to the whole, like, Sabres getting screwed by the whole COVID situation. The NHL kind of screwed the Sabres over a little bit. But that's kind of a rant that I'll save for the end of the video. We'll get into the third period, and oh my God. Before the game, Ralph Kruger kind of talked about, you know, the issue of stamina, right? Like maybe the Sabres being off for 2 weeks and having some players who weren't able to practice. Maybe they wouldn't have the stamina to last a whole 60 minutes. But to not get a single shot on goal in an entire period is just, like, it's insane. Like, what did I just watch? What did I just spend 2.5 hours watching? Like, I was so excited. Anyway, I'll talk about it in a second. Like, all right, start of the third. Lucky Fireplace isn't doing it for me anymore. So, hanging with my dogs instead. Too many men. That was unbelievable. Look at, they're coasting. Look at that. That's embarrassing. You coasted. It was I think Eichel was coasting, and I think maybe Hall too. They were coasting to the bench, and then Eichel decided not to go off the ice, and it confused everybody. What? Like, that's embarrassing. Unbelievably not what we needed. So you see how we're 10 minutes into the third period?
Yeah.
Down by 2. No shots on goal yet. Under 6 minutes left, still no shots in the third period. Sabres can't even get the puck out of their own zone. They should be pulling their goalie right now. They can't even get the puck out of their own zone. This is like the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. There goes Linus, 1.5 minutes left in the third period, and they still don't have a single shot on goal in the third period. I've never seen anything like this. We're under 1 minute to go in the third. Still no shots on goal. We might get one here. No, we won't. 10 seconds left. Away from a shotless third period. I've never seen this. And they're just gonna cake it. They didn't get a single shot on goal in the third period. Wow. Well, that's the game. The Sabres lose 3-1, and they did not get a single shot on goal, down 2 goals in the third period. I can't even, there's no words for that. There are no words for that. I mean, this is what you get being a Sabres fan, guys. That's all you get. So the Sabres had a power play to start the third period, maybe as a way to get back within 1 and see how the rest of the game goes. But it was a weak power play. They really couldn't get anything going. And then basically after the Islanders killed that off, they take the laziest too many men call I've ever seen. Guys were floating to the bench, and then like at the last second, I think Jack decided he didn't want to go to the bench, and instead he wanted to go and try to make a play on the guy who hit the puck. But the guys on the bench who were hopping off the bench didn't expect him to do that, and it was just like that's just how that went. And then after that, really, like, not much happened. I mean, the Islanders shut it down. I mean, you could tell they're just that much better of a team than us. I think they're that much better coached than us. They're very well disciplined. But to me, it's just like, I can't believe I just watched an entire third period where they didn't get a single shot on goal. So allow me a second to rant, if you will. This is just why it's so hard being a Sabres fan, because I feel like this happened to the Sabres, right, where this whole COVID situation where, you know, the Devils came in with their COVID problems, infected the Sabres, who were doing everything right, who were making sure they were following every protocol. And so look at what happened with the Sabres. They were forced to play without 3 of their top defensemen in Risto, McCabe, and Brandon Montour. Risto and McCabe being basically our top unit. You know, we also saw Curtis Lazar and Dylan Cousins. Lazar being a pretty decent penalty killer for us this year. Cousins, you know, slowly starting to really take off, I think, before the break. Who even know? Do you even remember what happened before the break? Listen, don't get me wrong. I know the Sabres aren't a good hockey team. Like, that third line of Tobias Reeder, Cody Eakin, and Kyle Oposo make me want to actually pull my hair out. Like, I understand they're not a good hockey team. But the fact that they had to play that shorthanded in a season where there's only 56 games and you're playing against the teams that you're competing against in the standings, you're not playing against anybody else. You know, the fact that the Sabres were forced to play shorthanded because of this, also considering that Sunday game should have never happened against the Devils. Like, it should have never happened. I talked about this already, I know. But I still am it's mind-boggling that they let that game go on. Now the Sabres, without so many players, forced to play shorthanded. Like, it's so infuriating being a Sabres fan. Like, not only is the team awful, but, like, unlucky, shitty stuff happens to us. And it's so frustrating because I just want to love this team so badly. I just want them to have even a little bit of success so that by the time the season gets near the end, I'm not totally checked out like I always am. But it like, this always happens. Like, they just suck the life out of me. And, like, I just spent, like, 2.5 hours of my life watching that. Like, watching a team of, like, players I've never heard of in the lineup, watching my team that's been out for 2 weeks and clearly losing steam as the game goes on, and, like, watching my team not even able to get a single shot on goal in an entire period, especially in the third period when you're down by 2. The other team should be, and you'd think, playing more defensively, and you should be playing more on the attack. Like it just sucks. It truly sucks being a Sabres fan, and I don't feel like being funny anymore. Like, when I get mad, I write funny songs about it. I don't even feel it. Like, I don't even feel like I want to watch these games anymore. And again, I'm really trying not to overreact because this was a really tough situation for the Sabres to be in. But at the end of the day, Jack Eichel was in the lineup. Taylor Hall was in the lineup. Jeff Skinner, Sam Reinhart, Rasmus Dahlin, they were all in the lineup. So how does no one get a shot on goal in an entire third period? I don't get that. You know, we're right back at it again tomorrow. We're playing the Islanders again at home. And I mean, how is the game going to go any different? Like, how am I supposed to go into tomorrow expecting that this game goes any different? You know, I'm pissed. I'm pissed at the league. I'm pissed at the Sabres for not having proper depth. You know, I'm just, like, I could not even imagine if the Bills weren't good. Like, if the Pagulas owned, you know, with owning both teams, if the Bills still sucked like they did for the 17 years that they did, I could not even imagine how miserable it would be. Like, at least we had the Bills to have some fun. But, like, when will the, like, I can't even picture what the Sabres being good would look like. I can't. Like, I don't know. Like I said, this was a really tough situation to be in. I don't blame them for coming out and looking flat and looking gassed. But I've watched Sabres teams come out looking flat and gassed and miserable with no excuses, right? No COVID excuses. I've watched this for years, and this is all the same. One day, someone's going to surprise me and come out and truly act like they want to win hockey games. One of these days, that's going to happen. But tonight was definitely not that night. You know, obviously the Islanders, from top to bottom, are a much better built team than us, a much better coached team than us. So, what can you do? I do apologize for the rage. I just want this team to be good so badly. I just want to be happy cheering for them and just be rewarded for the years I've stuck with them and the time I've dedicated to them. And it just truly feels like we're nowhere close to that, you know? So I try not to get too upset like this, but sometimes you get 0 shots on goal in the third period, and that's what happens. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to me vent. I don't even know what to say anymore, but Sabres are back at it tomorrow. I don't know if I have it in me to film my reaction, but we'll see either way. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to hear more rants like this, I'm sure more are coming. It's the Sabres we're talking about, so hit that bell notification, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.